heaven fell, they emerged. Conjured from torment, fire, and ruin, they were ravenous, unceasing in their hunger as they cleansed the city of both the living and the dead. As the countless innocents fell, the demons erected a new kingdom with bones of the fallen, harvesting despair and agony to birth an ocean of desolation. But they did not spread forth unopposed. Surrounding the doomed metropolis was a wall of steel, flesh, and will. Those unyielding shadows of man who held the battlements against the horde. Under the burning sun, they culled the scores of the wretched, those condemned souls possessed by this devil's seed. And under the cursed moon, the desperate guardians held back the horror, the tides of the dark infinite as the dragons crashed against the shores of earth.
When David Krug first arrived in the outskirts of Shanghai, he felt the luckiest man alive. He would be the first journalist to enter the dark zone surrounding the city ever since the incident. When the gatekeeper station blew up over the skies of the city a month ago, the Chinese government turned the area into a black site, expending every favour he had ever been granted, a seat into a military resupply flight into the area. Selfishly, all I could think of was how this story would set him up for life. That was until he encountered the young boy shortly after landing. Little did David know that the first words of his story would be penned in this child's blood. He persuaded the sergeant tasked with escorting him to bring the boy along with him back to the wall. The boy never made it that far. What came next would forever haunt the journalist, echoing in his mind for as long as he lived. The sounds of the child's screams as blood sprayed out from his mouth, all while David did what little he could to help the boy. His helplessness as the sergeant tore the youth from his embrace, dragging him to the door while he choked and convulsed before throwing him out the vehicle. Right before shooting him in the head and incinerating the corpse with a flamethrower. David watched, numb by shock and horror, as the flames licked away at the body, as the skin crackled and blistered until something serpentine snapped the fragile ribs and burst through the charred skin. Screeching as it burned alive in its cradle. They left the boy's corpse to burn to ashes in the road, and as they drove on towards the wall, David couldn't imagine in his worst nightmares what he would soon come to see. A place barren of hope, mad by the damned who banished their humanity during the day and held back the tides of hell once night fell.